Hi, welcome back to another video, and this is a video on the lesson that was given on Tuesday, November 6th. I wanted to show you the slide that has the warm-up question. It asks which ramp is the steepest and explain. So if you recall the activity that we did, we decided as a class that D is the steepest. Now, do you recall the reason why D is the steepest? Hopefully you answer it has the highest ratio of rise to run. So let us illustrate again what that means. If you start at the base of the ramp and you count the number of unit squares, okay, going up, that is going to give us the rise, okay, of 4 units. Then you count horizontally, you have the run of 2 units. So when you do a ratio, remember there's many ways of writing a ratio. One of the ways is write as a fraction. So write it 4 over 2. Which then can be simplified as 2. If you do the other ramps, and we'll do this quickly, let's do ramp A. So let's count the unit squares for the rise. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our rise is 7, and our run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run is 6. So we have the ratio of 7 over 6. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, rise is equal to 4. And run is 6. You can simplify this as 2/3. Okay. And finally, ramp C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Rise is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the run is 12. 12 over 12, that simplifies 1. So we can compare the ratios here. 1, 2, 2/3, 7, 6. Okay, as you can see, ramp D has the highest ratio of rise to run, and therefore we say that D is the steepest. Okay, very good. So this is the table of content. We're adding graph of a line to our notes. The essential question that we want to answer is how can you justify if a graph is a line? And we can't say that it looks like a line or is straight, therefore it's a line. We're going to learn several properties of a line in this unit, and we'll be able to justify it mathematically. First, we're going to begin by defining the word slope. Slope is a number in mathematics that describes the steepness of a line between a point and another point. I'm going to illustrate how to find the slope between 2 given points using graphing. So first, we're going to do 0, 10. Oh, I'm sorry, 7, 2, then 0, 10. Okay, just like when we did the warm-up, we determined the steepness of the ramp. We are going to count rise over run. So we'll start counting, and we see that the rise is positive 8 because we're going up 8 to meet the other line. And then we go left 7. Since we're going left, is -7 for the run. Therefore, we say that the slope rise over run is equal to 8 divided by -7. Okay, let's do one more example. Again, we're going to plot these 2 points, and we'll find that the rise is 7, the run is 4. So you write a ratio for rise over run, we get 7 over 4. Okay, now before we go on to the next slide, I'm going to pose this question. Okay, is plotting the points on the coordinate plane the best way to find the slope between those 2 points? It's not the best way. Can you come up with 2 different reasons why it's not the best way? Hopefully you remember from the class discussion, 2 reasons why graphing is not the best way to find the slope is number 1, okay, it requires you to always have graph paper, which is not the case for us. Second reason, sometimes our coordinates can be very large, okay. For instance, our coordinates could be negative 6,000 and 40,000. Okay, you're gonna need a very large graph paper in order to plot that point. Or our point could be very small, like negative 4.6721 and 0.1116. Right? As you can see, sometimes graphing is not the best way to find slope between 2 points. So we're going to come up with a shortcut on how we can find the slope between 2 points without graphing. So let's look here, rise. When we talk about rise, we are talking about going up or down, or essentially the y coordinates. So let's look at the y coordinates of our 2 points. Now what do you think we did to these 2 coordinates to get a 7? Very good. If you say we take 13 minus 6, we get 7, you're totally correct. And similarly, the rise is right or left, which is essentially the x coordinates. So what do you think we do to the x coordinate to give us the run of 4? If we say subtraction, you're right. We'll take 9 minus 5, and that gives us the run of 4. So the key word is finding the difference, or finding the change of the y coordinates to the change in the x coordinates. That will lead us to the next slide, which gives us the definition of slope. So we're going to actually write the slope on this slide, so you remember that we're referring to slope. Okay, so for any 2 points, A, X, sub 1, okay, it's a subscript, and I'll write this down, subscript. It goes below the letter, just for short and to easy, just call this x1, y1, x2, y2. It just means it's the coordinates for point 1 and coordinates for point 2. That's all there is to the notation. Alright, so here M represents slope, which is rise over run, and we saw that to find the rise, we need to find the change or the difference, right? We did subtraction, so that's the change, which is essentially the same as saying delta. Okay, this triangle symbol right here is the Greek letter, okay, delta. You're going to see this a lot in science and in physics. You'll see this in chemistry. You will see the symbol. Okay, so all of these means the slope. So let's do one example. We'll do A -4, 6, and B, let's do -3 and 8. Alright, so we're going to find the slope of A and B. That's what this notation means. Before you do anything, I'm going to have you label the points, okay, as how they did here. In the beginning, I would recommend you to do this so you get confused with which number goes where. Once you're comfortable with finding the slope between 2 points, you don't have to label the coordinates. But in the beginning, you should definitely do that. We're going to call A our point 1. So this means that negative 4 is x1 and 6 is y1. And if this is the first point, b is from your second point, that makes negative 3 x2, 8 y2. Alright? Now, once we have labeled the coordinates, we can use this formula right here. We're going to take y2, which is 8. I'm going to cross that out. Minus, always have a subtraction, y1. y1 is 6. Over. Very good. Here, x2, which is negative 3. Minus, pass this out, x1, which is negative 4. Alright, let's do this. 8 minus 6, well, that's easy, that's 2. Here you have subtraction, so we're going to apply the same change rule. That's what the SCC stands for. So, same negative 3, change becomes a plus, negative 4 becomes a plus 4. And this is just a review for those who are still struggling with integers. You have negative 3, and you can add 4 positive 4, okay? Or 4 positive sign. So you group them, and what is left, you have 1 positive. So it's going to be 2 over 1. You can leave your answer as 2 over 1, or you can simplify it as 2. Alright? Awesome. Now, go ahead and do some practice on page 317, number 7. And hopefully you will have no trouble in finding slope between 2 points.